Hi everyone, happy Halloween weekend. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make these adorable candy corn inspired Rice Krispie treats. For this fun Halloween treat, all you'll need are 3 ingredients: 1 box of Rice Krispie cereal, 1 bag of mini marshmallows, and a stick of butter. To achieve candy corn colors, you will need yellow and orange food coloring along with a round baking pan. I wanted to make 2 different sizes, so I'm using a 6 and 8-inch round pans. To prep them, I cut out parchment paper to line the bottom. A tip to make it easier is by creating guidelines. In this case, a bullseye would be a great reference. I found household items that measured perfectly, in which I traced onto one side of the parchment paper. After you draw your circles, make sure to turn it over ink side down to prevent it from transferring onto our delicious treats. Have your pans prepped and set aside ready to go. The next few clips will be me demonstrating and sharing tips on how to make the Rice Krispie treats. I will also include the ingredient measurements in the description box below for your reference. Please note that measurements will depend on what size pan you are using. This recipe will be enough to fill 1 6-inch pan and 1 8-inch pan with a little extra for you to snack on. Since we are making 3 different colors, we have to make 3 separate batches, starting from the outer yellow layer. My advice is to melt your butter and marshmallows slow and steady on medium-low heat to prevent them from burning and browning. Honestly, this is probably the most simple recipes out there, and I love that it only requires 3 ingredients. Once your marshmallows are smooth and lump-free, add and mix in your food coloring to your desired shade. At this step, you want to make sure you work fast because you don't want to burn your marshmallows. Alright, once that is done, turn off the stove and combine your Rice Krispie cereal quickly, folding it over and over to help the marshmallow coat everything evenly. I recommend working fast because at this point, as it cools down, it is also stiffening up, and we need to make sure it's still moldable. After allowing it to cool down for a few minutes, add it to your pan, and beware, it's super sticky. At first, I was wearing gloves, but that just made the job harder. So with clean fingers, you can assist the placement. You could also grease your fingertips with a little bit of butter to prevent it from sticking to you. Wrap parchment paper or saran wrap around your fingers to press and mold the Rice Krispie to the perimeter until your guideline is exposed. Then press and pack it down to level it out. Once you have it set in place, set it aside to cool and harden while moving on to the next layer. As we continue on to the middle orange layer, keep in mind that the measurements will decrease as we close it up. Again, please refer to the description box for exact measurements. I wouldn't stress out too much about perfecting the evenness of the layers because no one says that candy corn has to be uniformed. They're all unique, just like we are. One thing I wanted to mention is that I was able to reuse the same pot without washing them in between batches, thanks to the non-stick pot and butter. So if you want to save yourself time and dishes, make sure to use a good non-stick pot. Alright, middle layer is complete. Now for the easiest part, the small batch for the center. This one is quick and no food coloring is needed. Place a dollop and press it in. The only thing left you have to do is let that layer set in, let it cool off completely, and then we can remove it from the pan and cut them to serve. Here is how my 2 pans came out. That's the 8-inch and this little guy is the 6-inch. To help release them from the pan, I have my little handy dandy plastic spatula that I have no clue where I got this from, but I love this little tool. I just kind of poke and scrape the sides to loosen it up, and that's it. And then another tip is to grease up your knife that you're going to use to cut your Rice Krispie, because remember, this has a lot of marshmallow in it and you don't want the marshmallow to get stuck to the blade or your cuts won't be clean. And And as you can see, I just cut it like a pizza so that we can get our candy corn triangles. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you guys are inspired. This is a great last minute treat that you can make for friends and family. Have fun this weekend, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Holy camole! Whew! That almost went right in the marshmallows. Good catch, Sally.